Like so many good ideas, it seems so obvious after the event, so black and white. Take the Beatles and make them hip-hop. Just mix John, Paul, George and Ringo with the contemporary American rap star Jay-Z. And what made the whole idea somehow irresistible was this. You begin with the Beatles' White Album from 1968, and then you add the Black Album, Jay-Z's hit album from last year, and what do you get? Well, you guessed it, the Grey Album, created by a young American hip-hop producer called Dangermouse.
I was just cleaning up my room listening to the Beatles, something I do at least once, twice a week. It just hit me. I had the Black CD, the Black Album in my hand, like I was cleaning up, and I was listening to it, and I thought to myself really quickly, it was like, I could do this, I could do this, this is, the crazier things have been done.
Dangermouse was born 26 years ago, plain Brian Burton. He created his Grey Album on his home computer in his bedroom in Los Angeles. To his astonishment, it has become an internet phenomenon, and in the process inadvertently challenged the whole notion of musical copyright.
This was never supposed to be anything more than just me seeing if I could do it. You know, I do challenges like this for myself all the time. You know, this is not anything really that new to me. This is the first time I guess used the Beatles and Jay-Z though, so here we are, I guess.
Dangermouse pressed and distributed some 3,000 CDs before EMI intervened to protect the Beatles' copyright. But by then the album had garnered ecstatic reviews in the music press. The NME was characteristically hyperbolic and talked of 10 ways the Grey Album has changed music forever. Critically, the album was being exchanged by fans on the internet. On one day alone, over 1 million tracks were downloaded.
I like the Beatles anyway, so for me to hear that kind of stuff thrown underneath a really good rapper, I think is, you know, it's sort of quite exciting. I like the way that it branches out to the hip-hop's terms of reference, because that needs doing constantly. Hip-hop has a tendency to sort of be a bit inward-looking sometimes. And I like the fact that sort of an underground producer like Dangermouse can do something like this and sort of cock something of a snook at the industry and hopefully, fingers crossed, get away with it.
To a degree, Jay-Z seems to have been tacitly complicit in all this. He actively encouraged other hip-hop artists to sample his Black Album by putting out an a cappella version of it. But the Beatles is another matter altogether. EMI says Dangermouse didn't ask their permission and used the material in an unauthorized way. You've been listening to one song from the Grey Album, and to get some idea of how many copyright owners and publishers Dangermouse ignored, here's the list for just this one track.
The only thing that matters is just a matter of years. As fate will have it, J status appears to be at an all-time high. Perfect time to say goodbye. When I come back like joy, we're in the 4-5. It ain't the play.
I eventually got a letter from EMI, a cease and desist letter, and I called them up when I got the letter, and I told them what I had done and all these things, and because I never really tried to hide that I used the Beatles.
Dangermouse was purist in his obsession. Hip-hop artists usually sample from a wide variety of sources. Dangermouse deliberately restricted himself to 2 albums, vocals from Jay-Z, instrumentation from the Beatles.
I started from the first song, and any time I heard a drum kick, a snare, a hi-hat, anything that wasn't being sung over, I took it, you know, chopped it and made it its own little part and put it into little folders and stuff. And same thing with guitars and bass lines, anything I could find, anything, even little percussive stuff that with their voices that were landing on, I could probably use to pitch up or pitch down or anything like that. So I did that. That took like 3 or 4 days before I even started putting Jay-Z on it or anything like that. And before I even started putting beats together, just deconstructing it took forever.